How you doing?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Good. Well, we have this big event coming up next week, so I thought it'd be awesome to just get on here and talk a little bit about the event and about how you found Appreciation Financial to begin with.
Yeah, I am really excited about this event next Tuesday on the 26th because, as you know, that's how I discovered Appreciation Financial because I had been an unemployed teacher for a number of years. And then it's kind of just like an emergency between school years, decided I'll go work at a local casino. And then the economy tanked. And it was like, oh my gosh, 1 year was 8 years. It just was not a good fit for me. And I mean, I was sort of like in that time I had decided I don't want to go back to teaching and I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I knew I had to get out of what I was doing. Like it was just not healthy for me at all. So I was like, what do I do? I mean, I went back to school to get another master's certificate. And even at the time, it was in HR management. And as I was literally in the class, I was saying to myself, I don't think I'm going to use this, but I feel like I just need to be like moving in a forward direction so that something can come like into my sight line that I'm not aware of. And then all of a sudden you posted something on Facebook that said, who do you know that's good at managing and is organized and, just a couple of keywords that I was reading it going, me? Like I'm good at all those things. So I contacted you and you said, hey, I've been with this company for a number of years and we're doing this event where, we want to introduce people to the business. Why don't you come? And so it was literally almost 8 years ago, almost to the day. It was the first week in September, I remember. And I also remember just sitting there being like, I've been trying so many things. And I don't know. And it was down by the beach. And my niece said, like, let's have happy hour. So I was like, should I just go have happy hour? I thought, no, like, what if this is the one? Like, what if this is it? What if this is like what you've been looking for? Because I didn't know anything about it, really. All I knew was you. And then I knew, we had worked together in the past. And every job you had, you were really successful at it. And you always made good money. And for me, money was never really that big of an incentive. And all of a sudden, though, I was at a point in my life where I was like, you know what it is? Like, it's time for me to do something that I like and to make, good or at least decent money at it because I'm getting close to retirement and I'm not happy. And so I want to be able to travel and spend time with my family. So I went to this event. And much like the one we're having next week. And it was great.
Well, you have talked a little bit about some preconceived notions, like maybe go to happy hour instead of come to the event. Was there anything else that you might have been thinking that you're like, well, I don't know, but I said I would be there, so I'm going to show up for Hawley at least.
Yeah. But I mean, I love you. But even then it was like, I don't know. I only have 2 days off a week. This is one of them. And
Didn't your sister come with you or something?
No, she was with my niece. Like I ended up joining them after. And so, the event was at the marina and they were down in Mission Beach. So I was like, it's right there. Like there's no excuse. Just give it a try. I mean, and I honestly didn't know what you did, Hawley. Which is funny because I've been doing this 8 years and I still have people in my life that I think they think I know what I do. Think they know what I do. But I still don't think they do. And I was kind of the same way. And I just thought, it's just time to do something really different if you want something different, because I'm tired of working hourly and I'm tired of having 1 week of vacation and 1 week of sick leave and
having to ask to go to the bathroom. Didn't you have to ask to go to the bathroom or something?
Yeah, that is my biggest thing. And sorry to say this like in public, but I'm pretty much an open book. Like I have like the laziest bladder in the world. And I'm like, once an hour? Like I literally went to a specialist and they're like, you're fine. You just have a lazy bladder. I'm like, well, how did that happen? But anyway, yeah, I feel like my managers, we had radios. I'd have to radio. Like everyone can hear it. Not that I really care, but I'd be like, can I have a code 8 again? Like an hour later. So I'm like, I'd never been used to having to ask permission to go to the bathroom. Like, it's the small little things that when you work for yourself and you have, freedom and liberty, like that's huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
So
they never really told me no, but
what were some of the things that you heard at the event, or what was the event like for you that made you really perk up and really take notice of the Appreciation Financial opportunity?
And I hadn't even seen you, gosh, in probably 10 years at that point. Like, it had been a while because I'd been at that casino for 8. Like, I'd been busy. So, gosh, and it's been 8 years now. And honestly, I didn't really pay that much attention to anything else that was going on in the room. Like, I can't even tell you how many other people were there. I mean, it wasn't like hundreds, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know. Because I really was just excited, to be there with you and catch up with you and be like, is this what I'm looking for? And so once I decided that I was committed and I was going to be there, I really wanted to listen have an open mind. And I've been working with some coaches that had told me, like, be in the mindset that you're open to anything so that when anything pops in that looks like, okay, that lines up with what I want, that you can just go. And so our CEO did the presentation, Terry Kennedy, and Terry is just, I don't want this to sound bad. Like, I mean it in a good way, but he's like just an average, everyday kind of guy, like when he talks, it doesn't feel like he's trying to sell you on anything. So he just talked about the company and how it was pretty new at that point, and they were really looking to expand across the United States, which we have since done. So he talked a little bit about the market that we served at that time, which now it's even bigger. But at that time, it was primarily teachers and school staff, which I had been a teacher. And I knew, once he started talking about it, I knew that they didn't know about their retirement because I didn't know about mine when I was a teacher. So I was like, you know what, that is an underserved market. I could do that, And the one thing that stuck with me in that presentation, and because it was such a different place than what I'd ever come from, was he said, if you get into this industry and you work in this industry for 10 years full time and you don't like switch companies, you'll be a millionaire in 10 years. And that stuck with me. And it's kind of funny because I'm not usually that money driven, but I was like, 10 years. In 10 years, I'll be, well, what am I now? I'll be 57. That'd be nice to make $1 million in 10 years. And you know what? I've been in the business 8 years, and I'm on track right now that, yeah, in the next 2 years, I will have made $1 million. So, it was a little bit of like, do I believe this guy? But also it's like, why not? You know what I mean? Like, maybe prove him wrong. And honestly, okay, even if I didn't make $1 million in 10 years, where I was at, if I was lucky to make 50 grand a year, that'd be, $500,000 in 10 years. Why not give it a shot? So yeah, that was some of the stuff that I had heard, was how easy it is to actually do what we're doing. And once I found out what it was, I had the kind of that little voice of like, is this sales? I'm not good at sales. Can I do this? Can I have a job that's commission based only, and I don't have a regular paycheck and I don't have benefits? Like, those things seem kind of scary, and I'm single and I don't, have a spouse picking up those things for me. And I just thought, why not? Like, other people are doing it, and why can't you do it for 6 months even, just to see if you can do it? And if you can't, then go back to working for someone else and being unhappy.
Yeah, it's actually one thing I tell a lot of people, because for me personally, I have been in sales for a long time. And so prior to this opportunity, I had been in the mortgage industry for about 7 or 8 years. And so I was used to living on commission only. I was used to buying my own health insurance, but that is a scary thing for people. However, once you figure it out and you understand that the time management, you understand how much time freedom you have, how you make your own schedule, and how it's up to you, you get paid based on your results, then I think people are really excited. And I think you were really excited about the opportunity of that, because really the sky is the limit as far as Appreciation Financial is concerned. What's funny is you heard you'd make $1 million in 10 years. I heard in 10 years I'd be making $1 million a year. And I'm about to celebrate my 11th anniversary. And I can say for sure that, maybe this 11th year, I'll be pretty close to $1 million in income between my husband and I. We're in business together. But even if I don't make that, like what I'm making now is way more than I ever was making in any of the other positions I was in.
Yeah.
And not only that, the number of people I've been able to help to make a 6-figure income just keeps doubling and tripling. And I'm more excited about that than my income, period, because of the fact that I'm helping other families. I'm not just feeding people. I'm teaching people how to feed themselves. And that is so much more empowering. And that's one of the things that I absolutely love about what we do at Appreciation Financial, the ability to build the team. All right. So after the event, you basically turned to me and said, hey, sign me up. After the event, tell a little bit about what the process is, because you weren't licensed yet. You hadn't gone through that.
Yeah.
So about the process.
I had, like I said, I had no idea. I do want to add, though, based on when I said, I didn't know about being commission-based. You're absolutely right. Like, I could never go back to working a regular job now. I could just like never do it. Like, it's so much better. I love it. You're right. I'm like, yeah, I got to pay for my own insurance, but I make 3 times more than I did at a job. I can afford it. Like, that's not a big deal. So, but after the event I remember I turned to you and I'm like, all right, what do I do? And the first thing is, and again, this was 8 years ago when pretty much we were exclusively just working with teachers and school staff. So I had to get licensed by the state of California, because that's where I live, to sell life insurance. We also sell life insurance, but mostly even with the retirement vehicles we use, they're used through life insurance companies. So that's why I needed that to even help teachers with their retirement. So, at the time it was somewhere in the vicinity of like $300 to $500 to sort of do that whole process. It was 32 hours of online computer training just to get that done, where the state is clocking your hours and making sure you're doing it. Then you can take the state test, pass the state test, get fingerprinted, that whole process. Like, you are legit licensed with the state of California Department of Insurance. Like, it is a big deal. That whole thing, I think, took about, cost-wise, like $500 maybe. Mm-hmm. And for me, I was gung-ho that I wanted to get out of where I was quickly. So, I mean, like I said, I did that with you the first week of September. And I think even then the week after I was going on vacation, so I didn't quite jump in. But I mean, I had done my testing, my studying, took my test. And then actually after you pass the test, it takes the state of California, however long it takes the state of California to actually license you, like grant it to you. I did all of that and was licensed by, my licensing date, it cracks me up, is Halloween. So really just a couple months to do all that. And then I just had to wait on licensing for a couple weeks. But the good thing is now we have even more opportunities with Appreciation Financial that you don't even have to be licensed.
Yeah.
We've partnered with a lot of different companies that we are affiliated with now, where we can help people in so many different areas where you don't have to be licensed, or that period while you're getting licensed, you can be doing these other things and earning money to, kind of bridge that gap until you can start earning a regular income.
Yeah. I mean, I have probably about almost 300 agents that are on a part-time, non-licensed contract with us. And they're helping businesses right now qualify for the Employee Retention Credit, which is one of the stimulus programs through the CARES Act for businesses. And I have people that, were on the leaderboard today. I had out of 30, I think we had 36 people on the leaderboard. 13 of those people were on my team, and 4 of them were the non-licensed people. And so I have people that have made close to 100,000 since February in that non-licensed position. And it's definitely changed their life. And it also gives them an option now to get licensed and come in full time, because some of these people have their own businesses. Some of them are W-2 employees with their own company, with the company that they work for. And so now there's a lot of options that people have once they have some money in the bank for that. But again, we didn't have that opportunity available when Tracy first started or when I first started 11 years ago. Mm-hmm. So getting licensed and starting your own business, see, it's interesting because my husband was a contractor and he owned his own business before he came in. And when I told him that it was going to cost about $500 for me to start this business, he like basically wrote the check out and said, that's all? Because his insurance, being a contractor, his insurance each year was somewhere in the neighborhood of $3,000 to $5,000 just for his liability insurance. He worked commercial and private. And so when he was doing work at people's homes, he had to have a certain amount of coverage. And then he was working in commercial, he had to have a certain amount of coverage. So that alone was like a business expense each year that he had to pay. For us, we have to do continuing education. However, that is very minimal. It's 24 hours every 2 years. Some of the stuff that we have to stay up on is something that we have to do anyway. So sometimes those credits are, you look and see how much you need to get, and it's hardly anything.
Yeah, all right. In fact, I need to renew mine, and I don't have to do much because I've already been doing it, just because you want to stay on top of what's happening in the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So then talk a little bit about that first year. You said you wanted to get out of the position that you were in pretty quickly. I know in the beginning we were working all day, and then at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, you had to go to your other job. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I was really motivated because, like I said, I was really unhappy, and nothing against the casino I worked at. It's a lovely place to be. It just was not a good fit for me. And so, you know, I'd been there 8 years and I was done like in year 2. So it was time. And so, yeah, I worked 4 to midnight there. And so I would do that, you know, get a little bit of sleep, and then, you know, go out in the daytime with you and, you know, go to schools, host luncheons, do whatever we were doing to get that up and going. And actually I do remember the actual date was I gave my notice at the casino on October 14th. So, I mean, really less than a month, because I already could see that this is going to work. Or, like I said earlier, even if I didn't completely believe it, but honestly, I think I did. I was kind of in the mindset of, I'm 50 or whatever I was close to 50. And I'm like, I can't keep jumping from place to place at this point. Like, this has to be it. And this can be, I saw that this could be it as long as I surrendered and believed in myself that I could do it, and believed in the company that what they were saying to me was true. And I had no reason to doubt that. I mean, I've known you for, 20 years. So I was like, why not? Yeah, I mean, and I had ups and downs, of course, but I was always just kind of like we always say in our company, like learn it or go with the speed of instruction, and trust that you're working from a fire hose, and know that like a lot's going to be coming at you at one time if you're new to the industry, which I was. And so I just put myself in a position to be like, I could sit here and get totally overwhelmed by everything, or I could just look at, what am I doing today? And what do I need to have in place for next week so that I'm set up for the next week? You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to be like, it's year 10 now, did I make my $1 million? I was kind of like, I just need to get through and trust that as I go, I'm getting stronger and I'm learning more, and that this builds on it. And the other thing is, we have residual income. So if I go out today and I write a policy on somebody and I get paid on it right now, next year I'm going to get paid on it every month when they contribute too. So yeah, I mean, it was challenging at times, but it is one of those things that I look back now, and, with the agents that I came up with at the same time, like, we laugh about just the silliest stuff that we would do, or just, we didn't have a clue, but it was, it was fun. Yeah.
So 2 more things. Number one, we want to talk about, like, if somebody's looking to change careers, why do you think, or what do you think, this would be great for them? And what are some nuggets that you've learned about that? And then the other thing I want you to do, if you're open to it, is just talk about that year, 18 months that you had when you were battling your cancer situation, and how this business provided for you. So take whichever question first that you'd like.
Yeah. So the first one was, something along the lines of how can this be a good opportunity for people?
Yeah, for change for people.
Yeah, for a change for people. What I really love about this business, and I have a pretty large team too. I have like 86 people on my team, and they're not all like me. Some of them are, but a lot of them are not. And so that's what I love about this industry, and more importantly, Appreciation Financial, is because it can fit a lot of people. It can fit a lot of things that you need. Like I said, for me, it really was about just being happy where I was. And also, I didn't mention this before, but I've always worked in jobs that somehow had sort of an altruistic side to them. You know, I was a teacher. I was an HR manager, but I worked at Catholic Charities. Like I was always kind of doing something that felt good to me too, versus I'm working at a casino. Like, you know, I try to find the good in it. So for me, that is also important. But that might not be important to everyone, but we have that. If you want to make a lot of money, we got that. If you want to be able to set your time schedule, we got that. If you want to like the people that you work with and feel like it's a family, we got that. So it's like, I love that because it can really fit a lot of people. I'm not looking for just like, this is only going to work for this kind of person. It's not. It could really work for anyone. So I love that. And so I came in 2014, the fall, and I built a team right away. I mean, I was in a leadership position within a year. But then I still had kind of a small team, and I was growing, and people come on. You know, I was just kind of like getting my feet under me. And I remember in July of 2017, I was at an event that you used to host with some of the other women leaders in the company. Every year we had a Women of Wealth retreat for our women. I loved that event because we could really build up that this is not an industry that women are well represented in, but at Appreciation Financial, they are. And so I was at that event, and I kind of just mentally been struggling a little bit, where I was like, I kind of felt like I hit a plateau, and then I learned some things, and I'm like, oh, super excited to go back and do these things. And then a month later, my dad had a massive stroke, and that really set, you know, that was really just kind of a kick, you know, like, oh, what are we going to do about this? You know, just that first month of literally like, what, like he lived, but he can't come home, and how's that going to work? And now my mom lives by herself, and just all that stuff. And it was a little hard to focus on my business with that happening. And then like a month and a half into that, we kind of figured it was literally my dad's birthday in October. We moved him into the house, the care facility he was going to have to stay at on his birthday. And I was painting my room to move back in with my mom. And I got a call from my doctor saying, we need you to maybe come back in and have another mammogram. And I was like, are you kidding me? So yeah, I had just moved in with my mom, telling her, I'm going to take care of you. And then I got to say, oh, well, a little bit of a change of plans. Like, you get to take care of me now. And I was fine. I mean, my cancer I was pretty lucky given, you know, the scenario it could be in. But I remember at the time, I didn't need chemo, but I did need radiation. And also I was just exhausted, having to take new drugs. And plus we were still dealing with my dad. Like, it had only been 3 months and he wasn't getting better, you know, and then I'm living with my mom, you know, there's just a lot. And I remember a really good friend of mine, and she's also my acupuncturist. And she's like, well, yeah, you're just going to stop working for a while. And I was like, no, I'm not. She goes, yes, you are. And I go, yeah, I can't. Like, I'm self-employed. I don't have disability. Like, I don't have those things. Like, I have to work. And she goes, no, you need to rest. And I'm like, well, you know, I do that. And she goes, no, you need more. You need more. And she kept saying that. And I kept being like, I can't. Because, like, if I'm not making money, like, how? Even though I'd been in the business for 3 years. And so it really was a great opportunity for me to step back and be like, okay, well, how can I do this? And I love this about our business too, because whatever it is, it's like, I got to make this work. So is there a way? Can I be creative? And so what I was able to do was, I had like a number of appointments that were already in my calendar. I just didn't feel physically or mentally, you know, up to running them. So I would schedule appointments and offer my team that they would go and actually do the appointment. And they were happy to have it because they were newer agents too. And they're like, we need appointments. So they would go run the appointment and then write me in on the business. So I was able to take that time off that I really needed to, you know, be able to focus on me and my mom and my dad and getting better. And it was probably about a good month or so. Um, and just having that knowledge, like, how is this even possible? Because again, I always just thought about if I was at the casino, I mean, they would have given me a leave of absence, but I'd have no money coming in. So it's really a blessing to have found this when I did and to trust the person, you, who invited me to just come and listen. And the truth is, this, as much as I love it, and I think anyone really can do it, it's not for everyone. And so, but I think just to hear about it should be for everyone, because you may just not know that you could be perfect for this, or maybe somebody in your life needs this and they don't know it and they don't know me. They need you to tell them.
I mean, and that's the thing too, is I've had people who have referred people to me thinking, oh, this person would be great. And they have been great at it, you know? And the other thing that happened during that time, whenever you were in recovery and you were helping out your mom and your dad and that whole situation, is you also were really able to lean on your team to do those appointments. However, also you saw the power of having that residual income, having those overrides, building a team, and how that team can support you even when you're out. Like, it's funny to say now because I've been doing this for a long time. However, last week I was on vacation. We were celebrating my husband's 50th birthday. And there was 2 calls that I had to do because of the leadership roles that I have at Appreciation Financial. One of them, I only had to stay on for a part of the call because the team all knew that I was out. And then also the other one, I had built it into our schedule, our travel plans when I built them. And the thing about that is I checked my commission. We get paid every week at Appreciation Financial. And I checked my commissions last week. And obviously, you know, the work that I put in a month or 3 months ago or whatever, I'm getting paid on that now, or even 3 years ago, I'm getting paid on that now. But I just always have to kind of pinch myself on Friday when I check the commissions. And, you know, sometimes it's more than the week that I made before. And I had 2 numbers in front of the comma the week before. So, nice. I mean, 2 numbers in front of the comma the week before. So it's like, it's such a powerful business.
A week, people, a week.
And we have people who make $100,000 in a month in our business. We have people who are on the 10K club every month. We have different prizes and different awards trips and all that kind of stuff, which is great. But what's really nice is to be able to know that you're making a difference with your family and your clients. Everyone. So it was my husband, my best friend and her husband, and my husband's parents that were on the trip. And I was thinking about it this morning whenever I was getting ready. I'm like, every single person on that trip with us is a client of ours, as well as being our family and best friends, you know? So it's like, not only my best friends are teachers. So that's one of the reasons why I knew whenever I found out about this opportunity, I was going to be great at it, is because how many teachers I already had in my life. Everybody knows a teacher. You either had a teacher, you know a teacher, you live next to a teacher, or you sit next to them on an airplane, or you're in line behind them at Disneyland. So, I mean, it's just a very small world once you start really tuning into those people. So is there anything else that I should have asked you that I didn't ask you that you wish that you want to let people know about? Not really.
I feel like we covered a lot of stuff. I really just can't stress enough that, we really are talking. I mean, at any time, come and join our company. It's amazing. But we really are, putting this out because we're having this event next Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like maybe an hour and a half of your time. Like, really, it's not even the length of a movie on Netflix. Like,
yeah,
check it out, because I've had this too, where there have been people that I thought, they love what they're doing. Why are they going to come and do this with me? Like, they love what they're doing. But that's not really up for me to decide for them. So, I just like to give people the opportunity, because even if they do love what they're doing, it's like, well, but maybe they can do this on the side. Or maybe they're like, yeah, I'm great at this, what I'm doing, but I'm kind of bored. Or
maybe they're not making the money that they want to be making.
Or they're not making the money.
Like, what kind of legacy could I leave? How could I leave this business to my family? You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
and even with a lot of our clients are teachers, like I said, I was a teacher too. And even in that space of, you know, when I couldn't get a teaching job, I realized this isn't the same field it was when I got my teaching credential years ago. Like things have changed. And so as much as I did love what I was doing, I mean, and this is funny because I probably told you this, maybe I haven't, but the very first day I came to a live training at the San Diego office, the night before, I just happened to check on my teaching credential because I'd not really been doing much with it in a year. It literally expired that day.
I don't know if I
I'm just like,
that's awesome.
I can't, like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, that's kind of a weird coincidence. Like,
Totally.
oh, I guess, yeah, maybe I should try a new field. So just give it a shot. Even if you think this isn't you, you could be surprised.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Tracy, for coming on and sharing your experience. I know we're going to have a great event. I'm looking forward to it. I'm coming in on Monday, meeting with a bunch of teachers that are my clients. I'm doing some annual reviews on Monday. I'm excited about Tuesday. And the other cool thing, we were going to have another person on with us. Her name is Donna Pippin. She'll be at the event as well. And she was going to share about how she was actually at one of these events. She had to leave early because the person who brought her into the business had an appointment that day or a luncheon that day. And she ended up going, and that was her first pieces of business that she wrote. So it's very exciting on how, you know, the way we have our structure, we like for you to come and see and hear about it. But the next day we want to get you out in the field if you're interested, because we want you to know the next day or the next couple of days on, can you do this? I mean, that's what people are always asking. Yeah. And once people see that they can do it, then it is a lot easier for them to make that investment in getting their license and doing the hours that they need to do. But anyway, we'll see you on Tuesday. That's July 26th. And we're going to be, Tracy, where are we going to be at?
We are going to be at, it is called, it's a conference room downtown. It's called the Tesla Boardroom. I don't know that it actually has to do with Tesla. But it sounds nice, right? Yeah, it is. I just want to confirm. I'm pretty sure it's 655 West Broadway. And it's called the Tesla Boardroom. It's right on Broadway. There's a parking structure there. And actually, parking's a lot cheaper because it's after hours. It's very simple and easy to find. So 6:30 on July 26th. And if you're interested, Hawley, I'm not sure how that works with this, but I'm sure they can message you somehow and we can get you all of the information.
Absolutely. We'll have Allie make sure that that's in the instructions somewhere in the post, or if you're seeing this in an email, then you'll just be able to respond back and get that information. All right. Well, have a great day, and we will talk to you soon.